up, guys? Gold Dizzy here. Time for some Raw talk. Tonight's Raw was from Nashville, Tennessee. We got to see the return of Bret Hart after his 1 month absence since being on their 4th of January. Oh, anyways, Raw tonight opened with Edge. He came out and did a really good promo. Talked about how he was going to defy all odds, how he was going to prove the doctors wrong. He didn't want to miss a 3rd WrestleMania due to injury, so he rehabbed as hard as he could and decided to make his return at the Royal Rumble. And Sheamus comes out, tries to spoil his parade, and they end up going to blows with each other. And Edge gives Sheamus a very nice spear. It was a good way to open the show, in my opinion. I think Edge cut a great promo, and having Sheamus come out there, because Edge was like, you know, who am I going to take? Am I going to go after The Undertaker, or am I going to go after Sheamus? It was kind of cool to see Sheamus kind of just put his nose out there to kind of persuade Edge to maybe go after him. Well, anyways, after that, basically every match tonight was a qualifying match for the Elimination Chamber. Of course, Sheamus, who is the champion, is already in the match. And the first match was John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. You know, I knew right off the bat that John Cena was going to win this match, and he did. The match was just okay. I mean, it wasn't terrible. It wasn't like it was full of botches or anything like that. It was just a straightforward match. Nothing exciting. After that, we got to see Vince McMahon and William Shatner. Well, actually, Vince McMahon, you saw him in his office. He goes into his office, and that's all you can see is him talking to somebody. And he's like, what's wrong with you Canadians just coming into people's offices? And you think he's talking to Bret Hart, but then you end up seeing that that it's William Shatner himself. And anyways, you get to see another qualifying match. Jack Swagger taking on Triple H. Now, this was a really good match. Jack Swagger and Triple H worked very well together. It's too bad they couldn't have more time. But of course, being that it's Raw, you know, all the matches can't have 20 or 30 minutes, you know, of course. But for the time they did have, it was pretty good. And, you know, you didn't really know who was going to win that match. I mean, Jack Swagger had a lot of great offense, a lot of good defense, and Triple H did end up winning that match. So you got Sheamus, John Cena, and Triple H so far in the Elimination Chamber. From there, you get to see a nice promo with William Shatner. William Shatner sings WWE themes. I thought it was very funny. He sings HBK's theme, John Cena's theme, Rey Mysterio's, Triple H. I thought it was very funny, and yeah, that's all it was. If you didn't see it, look it up. I thought it was funny, but that's just my opinion. Then we get to see another qualifying match. Triple H, or I'm sorry, before that, we get to see HBK and Triple H in the back talking about what happened at the Rumble last night. Triple H is like saying, you know, hey, what about that super kick last night? And he basically goes to say, well, I would have done the same thing if I had the opportunity, I just never did. So basically there's no hard feelings. From there, we get to see another qualifying match. John Cena taking on HBK. So this is HBK's chance to get to WrestleMania to somehow take on The Undertaker. I don't know how that would work out, but that's what they were saying. But anyways, Orton wins that match, and I was glad to see it. I didn't want to see HBK in the match, but Randy Orton did win the match, and it was an okay match, nothing too spectacular. Anyways, after Orton wins, you see Ted DiBiase in the back with Orton. He comes up to apologize for what happened last night on the Rumble, and how he says, well, I can't speak for Cody Rhodes, but, you know, I apologize for what happened, blah, 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 blah. Randy Orton gets in his face like he's about ready to say something, but he doesn't. I don't know if he just couldn't think of anything clever to say or what it was, but he gave him the sinister stare down, and then that was it. From there, we get to see another qualifying match. Mark Henry versus Ted DiBiase. Kind of knew who was going to win this match. Ted DiBiase does win. Nothing spectacular in this match. Although I was happy to see Ted DiBiase win because it's a young guy along with Sheamus. So you got two young guys in the Elimination Chamber along with John Cena, Randy Orton, and Triple H. Next they paid tribute to Jack Briscoe. Jack Briscoe is no longer with us. He passed away. He was like 68 years old. They showed a nice little montage of him. Rest in peace, Jack Briscoe. He was a pioneer of the business, you know, and he deserves a lot of respect. Next, we get to see the Big Show and Miz and the Straight Edge Society out in the locker room, basically. And they're both going back and forth about how they should have a tag team title shot. And William Shatner pops up. He's the Raw match negotiator, and he just comes up with a triple threat tag match for next week's Raw, which I think is a great idea. DX versus the Show and Miz against Straight Edge Society. I think that's a great idea. You know, it's been a while since we've seen a triple threat tag team match, so it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. Next, we get to see the final qualifying match, Kofi Kingston and the Big Show. Now, this match was alright. There was a botch in the match where Kofi Kingston's trying to leap up to the top rope and kind of slips. But he regains his composure, does the top rope maneuver. Anyways, Kofi Kingston kind of, I guess, accidentally thumbs Big Show in the eye. Big Show is blinded. He gives the big right hand punch, hits the ref, knocks him out. Anyways, Big Show calls for help for the ref because I guess he didn't mean to do it. Anyway, Scott Armstrong comes down, another ref, and disqualifies the Big Show. Big Show gets super pissed, and he keeps yelling, "It wasn't my fault. It was an accident." Blah 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 blah. But Kofi Kingston wins that match. So we got 3 youngsters in this match and 3 veterans. So it's a nice even mix. You got Kofi Kingston, a great high flyer, Ted DiBiase, Sheamus the champion, and then Randy Orton, John Cena, and Triple H. Now, this is good because Ted DiBiase is going to be in the match with Randy Orton. So, we haven't seen the official split of Legacy yet. We keep seeing them go down that rocky path towards a breakup, but we haven't seen it yet. So it could actually happen at the next pay-per-view. It's hard to say. Or it could happen before that. We have no idea. But I'm thinking that we very well could see the actual official split or the face turn of Ted DiBiase there in this match. Very hard to say right now, though. We finally get to see, we see Jerry King Lawler finally introduced the guest host at the very end of the show. Kind of didn't make sense. We didn't see much of William Shatner in this show, which was kind of good. I mean, he had very few segments, but I think each segment that he was in was pretty good. I don't think he was a bad host. He was used very sparingly, and I liked it. Anyways, the King introduces William Shatner. Then Shatner introduces Bret Hart. Bret Hart comes down and rips into Vince, calling him the world's greatest liar, calling him pathetic. Vince is out there as well. Vince tears into Bret, calling him, saying that he has no personality, no charisma. They're going back and forth at each other. And then finally, Vince goes, "Well, I was thinking about putting Stu in the Hall of Fame, but I changed my mind." That was a breaking point for Bret. He proceeds to beat down Vince. You almost get to see him put Vince in the sharpshooter, and then Batista comes out of nowhere and starts pummeling Bret. Didn't really know what that had to do with anything, but the crowd is chanting for Cena big time. He never shows, though, and Vince spits in Bret's face, and that was pretty much the end of the show. So it opened with a Canadian, Edge, and it closed with the Canadian, Bret Hart. The beginning and end of Raw I thought were really good. The in-between parts were so-so. The overall Raw was okay. It wasn't great, but a few of the matches were good. I did like Jack Swagger and Triple H. I thought that was really good. The Orton and HBK match was okay. Seeing Ted DiBiase win and qualify for the Chamber match, very, very cool. I'm interested to see what happens with the Big Show. I kind of like that. Him punching out the ref, him pleading with everybody, saying it wasn't his fault. Not sure where that's going to go. But overall, Raw was okay. Nothing too spectacular. But overall, whatever. It was alright. But let me know what you think. I thought it was okay. Wasn't the greatest, like I just said. But that's it for me. Peace out.
I spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool.